Hey you guys, King86 aka Raymond. Welcome to another video. First off, I wanted to point out that I did watch Jesse's new video, but I'm going to talk a lot about that video soon. But also, I do want to talk about how I feel about 2020. As you guys know, today is December 31st, and this is the last time we're going to be seeing 2020, and it's going to be one of the craziest days ever. Knowing the fact that this year has been one of the crappiest of all time. Well, guys, as you guys may have known that we'll come across some bad years in our lives, things like that. I mean, hell, I've had my share of bad years. 2006 was the worst year for me because I lost my godmother, and 2007 I lost my grandpa, and 2015 was the best for me because my nephew was born. And I had some good and bad years of my life, and let me tell you, it was one of the craziest years ever. But enough about me. Let's talk about how Jesse's pointed out. Well, guys, I watched Jesse's video, a Netflix thing. I would love to see that. But overall, let's talk about how he survived the pandemic. Well, guys, as you guys may have noticed, that within the years, we've seen Jesse buy a new office for his business, thanks to Karen, and then we see a lot of great videos along the way. But unfortunately, for me, in March was the month that's where everything went downhill. Well, guys, around February, I believe, we find out at where I lived in I don't live in San Francisco, but I live close to it. In San Francisco, guys, a ship came and 2 people got sick, and then they later found out it was the coronavirus. So 2 people got sick, and within that ship, and they came to shore in San Francisco, and it landed to where it was starting to spread all across California, and after that, spread all over the world. Well, guys, the coronavirus has been one of the craziest pandemics I've ever seen. I mean, I've never dealt with anything like this in my whole life. I mean, I've heard of measles, I've heard of polio. Pollo is Spanish for chicken. I'm hungry right now. That's why I'm headed for lunch right now. Polio and everything else. It took a long time to know. It took long for everyone to try to get a cure for that stuff. Even AIDS. I've heard about those, and that was one of the scariest things ever. But now, as we grew up, we learned to find out. Well, sometimes, one astronomer or philosopher stated that it could be the one, I don't care. Every 100 years we have to deal with the pandemic. There's a new pandemic that's coming our way, and that's when the coronavirus came in. For March, for me, St. Patrick's Day, that's when as you guys may have known, I work at a grocery store, and I have done my share working in a grocery business for almost 17 years. So I've dealt with every customer and everything that came my way. But this pandemic was one that I wasn't ready for. People were buying food up the wazoo. I'm a checker, guys, so I've seen everybody buying stuff up the wazoo again. And let me tell you, it was one of the craziest. People buy a lot of boxed goods, a lot of frozen stuff, a lot of meats. Like, the end of the world was coming. But after that, around May, I believe, for me, in May, we started to have to wear masks. Knowing the fact that we had to wear masks to protect us from the coronavirus. Although we know the symptoms: lack of breath, loss of breath, lack of taste, and a lot of other stuff. I forgot what they are. But overall, I've been fine. I mean, without the mask that we've done since March all the way up to May, we've been fine. I mean, I haven't had it. I know the difference between the flu and a coronavirus because those 2 things that I stated does not have it. Oh, coughing, excessive coughing. But the flu has that also. But for me, I take the flu shot every year. Let me tell you guys, it's one of the craziest. But enough about that. Now that Jesse had to shut down everything and also close down the building, his Storyfire building, which he paid a lot of money for. it was sad to watch, knowing that Jesse had to close down something that he was hoping that would spread this story fire, just like how the virus is. But unfortunately, it did not fall in his favor. So I'm gonna put this in an angle. Looks like you guys can't see me. Sorry, I'm looking up, so I'm sorry, guys. So back to what I was saying. So Jesse had to cancel all that, and what's bad about it is a lot of people were around, so they decided just to stay home. I mean, with Jesse seeing with Ashley and having dogs, and with Nick around, and also Swift, who was making life miserable for them. Also, they made it miserable for him too, shaving his head, and also seeing Ashley push him in a mirror to get rid of him. That was funny. But overall, that was most of the stuff that only Jesse and Ashley could do. We've seen a lot of funny videos. We've seen how they traveled to Michael's house. They traveled to some places, try to find some money because of the coordinates of the bag of money that they found in a cave, and that was the crazy part right there, guys. Then we started to see competition videos, which was a lot better. And then we see Jesse buy a new house. And I have to say, guys, that house is beautiful. After seeing that, and after that, they talked about some crazy times, or should I say, fun times with Jesse and everybody. We've seen how Ashley threw the Xbox at his TV because he did not listen. We've seen that Ashley got a new channel after they broke up. The breakup was one of the craziest ever, knowing the fact that they had to break up because things weren't going their way. I mean, like I told you guys before, when you're with somebody and you start living with each other, if you could be able to, when the question would be, when would be a right time to move in with your significant other? And the answer is, if you can be able to tolerate each other and be around each other for a long period of time, like every day, every minute, and every second, then it could work. I mean, if you really love each other and you really want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, that's what you got to do. And that's what happened. But of course, we saw the breakup, and that was really sad. But man, for him to do finance videos talking about like which camera to get and which systems are best to buy, either the PS5 or the Xbox X series, showing how much money he made when he did a Psycho video. All these finance videos actually helped out. It actually helps YouTubers just like me to try to get ahead in life and try to learn how to make a video that some people would watch and get a lot of views. But know this, after when Jesse stated at the end of the video that something's got to be MVE related, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing that. But we might see something a lot different than what he was talking about. So, hey guys, good things come to those who wait. I know this video might be a little short, guys, but I'm trying to make it as long as I could because I know that I bet you guys were expecting a reaction video, but for me, I promised I'm doing a stream tonight, and I'm gonna be playing all the way up to midnight, and I hope you guys will be able to watch me and enjoy what I'm about to do. But enough about that. Let's talk about the virus. Well, guys, we finally got the vaccine for the coronavirus, which later I just found out that you have to take 2 types of vaccines in order to be safe with this thing. There's one from Pfizer and one from Moderna. And this is actually a little different than anything because there's some that give side effects and some give also bad side effects, which is like a sore arm, and a big fever that you must stay off for 2 days. And I have to say, that's going to be really crazy to not do. So despite all of this, guys, Jesse had it rough, knowing the fact that this coronavirus was out and he couldn't do much videos. I mean, think about this. I mean, this affected a lot of us. I mean, we couldn't see our friends, we couldn't see our family members, because you never know if we're going to get it. And also, when I drive, guys, I have a lot of bottles of these, and I got my mask. I have a lot of masks in my car and also a lot in my place. So it makes it easier for me to make sure that I'm safe. Now, the reason why I say that, guys, is because I've seen like a lot of people, like Swift actually made a big deal that, oh, the we don't need a mask. The mask is a hoax, this and that. Well, guys, think about this. A lot of people believe that this was a hoax, but tell that to the people who died from the coronavirus. We've had a lot of people who have died from the coronavirus. Movie stars. I almost lost my aunt. I almost lost a friend of mine to this thing, and it sucked. And, you know, and I'm going to hold my hands up. I actually thought it was a hoax myself, and I actually had an argument with my father for that one time. And, but after seeing the numbers growing rapidly, knowing that a lot of people are dying from it, and I was like, okay, this is real. The one that really made me see it was knowing that my friend had it, and it was tough to hear, because I don't want to lose. I hate losing family members. I hate losing friends. I mean, well, the last time I lost a friend was she was shot, and it was a terrible thing to hear. But anyway, let's get back to Jesse. So Jesse has been doing well, knowing the fact that he got back together with Ashley, and that's pretty good. And bought a new house. The house looks beautiful. Now, basically, there's supposed to be something underneath. There's supposed to be something there in the house, supposedly. So I know this might be a series, or it just might be a little extra for us to try to keep us entertained. But if there's really something underneath that house, that would be something. I mean, seeing Jesse actually buy the house, that was a shocker. He used that money to buy the house, and although he didn't share it with his dad or his brother or Nick when they came with him that day, so it kind of made it a little unfair, knowing that, oh, you made us go through all this wild goose chase to help you find some money, and yet you're not going to share. But hey, they did competition videos, and hey, I have to say, it was really good. And also seeing, but the one thing that made me very happy on those videos was we see Jesse pay off the debt of Uncle Larry, his mom, and his Aunt Terry's father's canvas shop. And that was really amazing. That brought a tear to my eye. And also seeing him buy his dad his dream car, and that was really incredible. See, but guys, hey, you can try to make moments. You can try to. One thing you gotta do is make moments with people that are there, that are still here. Make every single minute count, because you never know how long people in your life are gonna be in this world. Because things happen like that. And you got to understand, guys, when something happens like this, like a pandemic, this came unexpected. And we have a, and forgive my language, and I'm sure you guys are Trump supporters, but forgive me, when we had a dumbass leader, Trump, who didn't tell us not to wear a mask. He tells us, oh, it's going to go away. Oh, it's going to go away. March, it's going to go away. April, it's going to go away. May, it's going to go away. June, summer is coming, the sun will take care of it. Nope. Every single time when he says that, it just blows over. Well, guys, now enough about Jesse. Let's talk about me now. Well, guys, like I said, my aunt had the virus and my friend had it, and it was really scary knowing the fact that my people that were close to me, they had it, and I was really upset. It was one of the toughest things I ever heard. What was sad about it was, guys, is that we couldn't do nothing. I mean, we had when birthdays came, the only time that we were able to go out and do something fun for a birthday was for my nephew. Yeah, I spit, sorry. My nephew turned 5, and we took him to miniature golf. And it was one of the best times ever. And my nephew got really upset because we were trying to do miniature golf, but there was these kids and these teenagers taking long-ass times playing, and we had to say, forget it, we gotta go. My nephew was crying, so I tried to make him stop crying. I said the one thing that made him stop crying is hey Johnny. His name is Johnny. I said, hey Johnny, don't you forget, it's your birthday, right? You have presents. He was like, oh, after he was crying, he was like, oh yeah. And I put him in the middle of us. I said, I want you to tell me who do you think has the better gift? So we were all standing around him. He was like this. Who has the better gift? And as he looked at me, I think I kind of gave him a nod because I did have a good gift for him. He was like, you? Is this me? And I made him smile, so I was glad I was able to do that for him. But enough about that. I mean, we had a good time. That was the only time we were able to be out. And my mom actually relived that day. It was Mother's Day. I was so upset knowing the fact that we couldn't do anything for her. So we decided to, play games. We would do like singing. I had the best Mother's Day gift to give her: flowers, a card, and also a sign that says, "This is home is where our family lives." And that was the best sign. That was the best thing ever. It sucks because we always take her out to breakfast, so we decided to have a breakfast. We had breakfast, and then after that we had a luncheon, and it was the best. I bought the food, so I did all that for her, and it was great. Father's Day, I mean, we couldn't do nothing either. So, well, for me and my brother, we drive around. We actually went to the we went to Preston Castle that one day. Me and my brother went there. We did a ghost investigation. It was a pretty good video. And me and my baby brother, the youngest in my family, we've been driving around. We went to San Francisco. We went to Pigeon Point, and then we went to Paradise, California, where there's snow, and it was great. And I almost sunk in, and there was a picnic table that saved me. I just see all this snow. Boy, you would have been buried. It's like, yeah, it would have been. So I had some good shoes. But overall, guys, we had some great times. We had to make sure that we're not going to let this pandemic get in our way. We didn't wear masks. So we just took it as we go, and then we made sure that we had hand sanitizer. We do this, and I'm going to, in between you and me, guys, what I do this. I do like that kid from Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, where that kid just has sanitizer and does that. So, guys, like I said before, I am happy that 2020 is over, and the biggest thing ever, guys, in 2020 is that Trump did not get a second term. And if you're any of you Trump fans, I'm very sorry. I'm an independent. I listen to both sides, and I like both sides, but after seeing what Trump did over the years, it makes me realize that he was a terrible president. I mean, I've seen all through his interviews, he says he's going to go away. He's going to go away. One person says, "How are you going to handle this?" He actually stated, and I quote, "I'm the chosen one. God sent me down to help you guys. I'm the chosen one." It's like, really? I think the chosen one wouldn't care about himself a lot more. The chosen one would care about the people a lot more than one person. That's you. So, after watching 3 to 4 days of the elections going off, Saturday was the day we've seen that Joe Biden had beat Trump. And what's crazy about it is that he's going to say that he actually stated that the election would be rigged. And then all the states that he was supposed to win, he wanted to recount. And guess what? They did recount, and they all voted for Biden. And what was funny is that they actually found voter fraud in one state. There was a Trump supporter who voted for Trump over, I think 1,000 times or 10,000 times. A Trump supporter did that. He stole some ballots and did that. I mean, they can actually tell if somebody tampered with it. So Trump wanted voter to see if there was voter fraud, and there was. It was on his side. Trump supporter who did that, the bad thing. So, guys, starting next month, which is tomorrow, January, we're about to see a new president, Joe Biden, and also for the first time in U.S. history, our first female vice president, Kamala Harris. Now, guys, I before you guys see this video, I'm sure I'm going to hear a lot of bad stuff about, Biden, about Trump, about Kamala, and everything else. I understand. You guys say whatever you want. But, guys, this is how I feel, and this is how I see a president supposed to be a leader, telling us we're going to get through this. But instead, he kept saying the virus is going to be gone. These masks are just lousy. He doesn't wear a mask. And lo and behold, he had the virus. His wife had the virus. His son had the virus. His youngest son had the virus. one of his Secret Service agents has the virus. And as time gone by, even the mayor, Mayor Giuliani, who was also the lawyer, he had the virus also. So, as time goes by, guys, it kind of makes you wonder: are you really sick in the head, or do you really just saying all these things just to make people happy and make sure they're fine? Nope, not like that, guys. Not like that. As far as I'm concerned, guys, Trump was the lousiest president ever. For him to say that he did great, he's not. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. By the time you guys see this, I'm eating my lunch, and I'm back to work. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more reaction or gameplay. Drop some likes if you enjoyed this. All I know, guys, is that 2020 was the crappiest year ever. But hey, there's going to be some good times or fun times coming our way in June. We just got to make the best January. So we have to make the best of it. So guys, I don't know if you guys are planning on taking the vaccine. I'm planning on it. A lot of people are planning on it. I don't understand why people don't want to take it, which, if you guys look at TikTok, a lot of people are making fun of the vaccine, saying that the vaccine had gave them head twitches or blah, doing that, like, or blah, do all that stuff. I'm not going to be doing that. Or am I? I'm just playing. But overall, I know what I'm doing. My job is supposed to be carrying it. It's coming, and I'm taking it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more reaction gameplay. Drop some likes if you enjoyed this. You guys be safe out there, and I'll see you guys next year, 2021. Stay positive, guys.